on the inner ear, fashion week all year, throwing money in the air. Just happy with my lady, other girls they wanna hate her. It comes with the territory, ball players wanna date her. All we got is loyalty, I'm treating you like.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, we have a matchup of a proven veteran against a breakout tight end. It's Jimmy Graham against Tyler Eifert. So with kickoff straight ahead, we'll check in with our broadcast team. Here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Tonight, we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And hi again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at our matchup here. You've got to believe that this is a game that might be won in the trenches.
Oh, without question. This is big person on big person, big unit against big unit.
Meat on meat.
Oh, you got it all. Pick your cliche, but we know this. The ground's going to shake, things are going to rumble, and they're going to have an impact on today's game.
The big left foot of Sebastian Janikowski ready to get us started. And we are underway from Heinz Field. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And we shift our attention to the Pittsburgh Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger, Charles, a man who could become the next 50,000-yard passer in the coming season. Would have had his 5th 4,000-yard individual season last year if it wasn't for the couple of games he missed.
I think his consistency is something we have to start talking about, because we talk about being one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and there's really no doubt about that. But just him answering the bell year after year, putting up those kind of numbers, and leading one of the best offenses in the league. Also, remember Big Ben as a younger quarterback, moving out of the pocket, taking the hits, shrugging them off? Now he's staying in the pocket and winning from there more and more, and I think that's going to enhance his career going forward.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Offensive starters time. Electric is certainly a word that comes to mind when you talk about Le'Veon Bell.
Love the way that he reshaped his body coming out of college. A bigger, thicker runner while he was at Michigan State. Lost weight, became more of a whippet in the NFL, and now no one can tackle the guy, whether he's running it or catching it.
2nd down, 8.
Cut his left. Cut his left.
Again, it's Bell. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Time to meet the defensive starters for the Oakland Raiders, and you want to discuss one of their safeties.
I certainly do. Carl Joseph out of West Virginia. Always did a great job policing the middle of the field. A big hitter, knocked the ball away, but really added to his game as last year as a Mountaineer. Became a better cover guy and a better ball hawk before he got injured. They're really going to love him in Oakland.
3rd play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And now it's 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
It's been fun to watch Derek Carr grow as a pro. When he was a rookie, they tried to game plan around him so that he didn't have too much responsibility. Now, I don't think they can heap enough things on his shoulders because they know he can handle them.
Now on 1st down. And his first look is incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they ask their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
When it comes to J.J. Watt, we're about out of superlatives, aren't we? So let's just make this simple. One of the best to ever play the game.
Third down now following the run. Throwing his car on third down. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Carr now on first down. Complete. The tight end Rivera. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Here we go with 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Carr. Surveying the field. This one caught left side by Cooper. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Fresh set of downs here. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
Carr to throw on second down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down. And, Charles, I know Ryan Shazier, who made that tackle, a youngster you like a lot.
I love him, and I liked him a bunch coming out of Ohio State because the more this game leans towards speed and less on bulk, that's where Ryan Shazier excels because of his ability to run down plays. If anything goes away from him, he'll chase it. A lot of the time, he can run with tight ends, running backs downfield, and pass coverage. That only helps his outside linebackers like James Harrison and Bud Dupree get to the quarterback.
Now Carr, the hook up on the right side to Hopkins. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Out is Janikowski now for the Raider field goal try. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And the Steelers set to take the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. In 12 regular season games this last year for Bell, averaging over 150 yards from scrimmage. First 2 games in the playoffs were great, but, you know, getting injured in the final game probably leaves a bad taste in his mouth.
Leaves a bad taste. Gives him fuel for the next season, though, because, remember, for the last few years, he hasn't been able to play a full season. For various reasons. Now, going into next year, imagine those numbers over a 16-game season and heading into the playoffs. Le'Veon Bell can set new records.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, 52 yards. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And his kick is right through. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The Steelers defense getting ready here. And we're going to get a peek at some of the hits that have helped them get this first half lead.
And you know how the best hits happen? By being really good on that side of the ball in terms of fundamentals, being in the right spot, diagnosing plays well, and being there at the point of attack. They are really making it happen.
Throwing on first down is Carr. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now a play fake. Carr. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They come out here in the I. Going to give this time to the tailback. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. The safety T.J. Ward in on the stop.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on 3rd down. From midfield, here's Carr. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key 1st down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
Offense. Still 1st down.
So after the mistake by the offense, it cost him 5 yards. And now 1st and 15. They go play action here on 1st down. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So they almost turn it over there. Scary moment. 2nd down here. They'll run it now, out of the gun. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. He's got time. And this is going to be incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's 4th down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And marching back out there now, the Raiders defense gets ready. Last drive, touchdown, surrendered. Here, see if they can stop them.
It's always a constant battle of letting the last series go, good or bad, but especially bad. Give up a touchdown. Okay, forget the finger pointing, forget the blame. Go back out and play the defense you know you're capable of and help your team out.
And probably look to the leaders as always.
As always. They're going to be the ones going to grab some people and say, all right, let's do this thing.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. And he'll get it up the middle. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. That is incomplete. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Wide open receiver complete. Down the numbers. There he goes. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. 71 yards. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
Extra point now by Boswell. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Steelers defense getting ready here for this next possession. And even though that last drive yielded points, it was a long field goal, so they probably weren't too upset about it. Although here, obviously, they'd like to give up 0.
Of course, that's the goal each and every time out. But when they make that type of a field goal that long, you almost give them a little nod of respect to the kicker, like, congratulations. But you do feel pretty good about not giving up anything big.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can not give up anything big on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. So we've played 1 quarter here on a Monday night. 14-3, that's our score. More from the Steel City coming up after this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Defense taking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Throwing his car on 3rd down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and it's 4th down.
That's a bold strike right there, taking it downfield and putting some air on it. But how about the coverage? Able to get his hands across the receiver and bat the ball down.
Here's Marquette King now to kick it for Oakland. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. Over the middle here to Brown. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Brown finishing 2016 with over 1,200 yards, 106 receptions. Now for him, people were expecting maybe some bigger numbers, Charles. What did you make of Antonio Brown's season?
Well, what I made of it is that he started to get more help along the way. Jesse James developed at tight end. Once Le'Veon Bell got into the lineup, he started to catch passes out of the backfield and ate up a few numbers as well. So Big Ben had more targets to throw it to. That should help Antonio Brown around going forward in 2017 because he'll still be the primary guy. But when you get help, well, you can make bigger plays downfield.
And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on third down. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Raiders will take possession. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And a long way to go for the offense here on second down. And on the ground they go with a running back. 5 yards will get them back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
So they run it on second down. Now let's see what third down brings here for the offense. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. From the gun now on third down, Carr finding time. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And it brings up 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Wonder what's in the offensive playbook on 3rd and 13. We're about to find out. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Ben on 3rd and long. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
Here's Jordan Berry now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch is taken here a step or 2 inside the 45-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's going to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Second down following the incompletion. Shotgun now for Carr. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Completed pass on second down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop. Working from the gun, it's Carr. It's caught inside the 25. Give him 35 yards there on the third down conversion.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
All right, here we go. Red 18.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. Looking for someone to throw to. And this is caught. It's Cooper. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
All right, here we go. Red 18.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division every year is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Carr now on third and goal. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Jimmy Graham from 4 yards out. And the Raiders are back within a score. So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. Now Janikowski following the score. He'll boot this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. And heading out for another drive, the Raiders defense. They were able to force that 3 and out. That led to a touchdown. Defenses obviously love 3 and outs. They want more of that.
They created a very short And not too sweet stint for the offense by getting them off the field that fast, but it set up their own offense, gave them a little spark, and they took it downfield and scored.
Now the question, can they do it again? Let's see. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a second down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump off. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right.
Here we go. Check. Left fire. 53 right. Check. 53. Left fire.
Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. Surveying the field. Goes underneath for Bell. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on 3rd down. They'll come out in the pistol. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field. Try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage. That's all.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA halftime report. The Steelers are happy to be in front, and they'll look to play another solid half of football. The Raiders know it's always hard to come in and get a win on the road, but they're not out of this one yet. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Now to the middle of the first. Roethlisberger's deep pass will pay off here. And this great play will go for 6. Steelers up by a touchdown. Raiders have the football midway through the second. The pass will be completed into coverage, and the play will come to an end after a gain of 35. Raiders have it later on the drive. The connection is made in the middle of the field, and it's caught for the touchdown. This cuts the deficit to 4. So that'll do it for us here in Orlando. For the call of the second half, let's hand it back over to Brandon and Charles. Brandon.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now a play fake here on first down. He's got time. Pass incomplete. Little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline that's kind of interesting. LA a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have 2 with the move from San Diego to LA. What does that mean for the league and for the Chargers?
It seems like an easier transition, doesn't it, than St. Louis when they moved back to Los Angeles.
Less culture shock.
Less culture shock, less, obviously geography, the whole deal. But it's a transition is not going to be easy. Remember, they're going to go play in a soccer stadium, essentially, for at least the first couple of years before they share a stadium with the Rams. So that changes things. Obviously, trying to create an identity in the market they haven't been in a long time. They began as the Los Angeles Chargers, but only played 1 season as such.
And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. Throwing his car on 3rd down. It's caught outright by Graham. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Finding time. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. Good job by the O-line. Quarterback had time to go through his checks. That's one you need to take advantage of.
A perfect situation, and they're unable to take advantage of it. When you have that much time to scan the field, you have to find an open receiver. The Steelers insert their nickel defense on third down.
Yeah, they add a DB. Shotgun now for Carr. He's got time in the pocket, and that is incomplete. Here's Marquette King now, as he's on to punt for Oakland. He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional.
Le'Veon Bell, kiss him goodbye. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, 73 yards. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Boswell for the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Carr going to throw. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. They get him that time thanks to the safety blitz as he sank for a loss of 4. And when a free safety goes like he did there, he better be sure he's going to be able to make a play.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, because I have a feeling that the defensive coordinator and head coach are on the sideline screaming, no, no, no. Good play.
Yeah, good job, buddy. Here's Marquette King now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. On second down, it's Bell. And he stopped immediately there. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends, because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. 3rd and 11, and some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime. On the give, this is their fullback. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
So, partner, the next time we see this coaching staff, I want you to have my back here, because that was really kind of a white flag type of a play, almost a little bit of a surrender. Just turn and hand it to the big guy, get what you can, and be prepared to kick the ball away.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Landry now on the return. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Here's the option going right. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
partner, when you run the ball on 3rd and 2, you're telling the whole world you've got nothing but confidence in your offensive line and your runner, and you expect to get it. But they were stuffed on that play. Only got 1 yard. Great job by the defensive front. The linebackers, everyone got involved to force a 4th down.
He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line, the Raiders defense getting ready. They're trailing on the scoreboard. Now, they had to watch that last drive, then they come out here. Defensively, when you played, did you like being out there defensively to start the second half or wait to drive?
I wanted to be out there right away. Come out of the locker room, get right back into the flow of the game, because sometimes when you sat around, you liked it when your offense gave you a long drive, but it made it a little bit tougher to get out on the field.
Well, it's the second drive here. We'll see how they respond. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. He's going to get the football. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. 18 yards on the pickup there. And the Steelers are going to have a first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. This is Bell on the dump-off. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
12 yards there as they move the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Let's look ahead for a quick minute. We don't have the schedules yet for next year, but what we do have are the 5 international games that will be played, 4 in London and then 1 again in Mexico. Jacksonville, Baltimore, Miami, New Orleans, Cleveland, Minnesota, Rams, and Arizona. Those in London, and then Mexico's going to get a great game. The Raiders and New England.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And just think about the ones in London. Remember, they're splitting them between the 2 different stadiums in London, so they get a different flavor in all of these places. From Mexico for the 2nd straight year, the Raiders are coming to town. That should be a whole lot of fun.
Should be a ton of fun and a very good matchup. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receiver's eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Brown, the lone receiver, left. On second down, Roethlisberger gets it to Gordon. And down inside the 15 he goes. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger surveying the field. Look at the time. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now here comes the Steelers defense once more. They were able to force the 3-and-out last time, led to the punt, and then led to a touchdown for their crew. So they'll be looking for a little bit more of that, Charles.
Well, I think that they created the spark with the 3-and-out. Gave a little momentum to their offense and said, all right, appreciate it, guys. And they took the ball downfield and stuck it in the end zone.
And that defense wasn't out there long. They'll be trying to keep it short here. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Hey, got three. We ready? Red 18.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
We ready? Red 18.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the fourth. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on third down.
Let's go. We ready? Wide and yank.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down.
All right, here we go. Wide and yank. Side and yank.
Now Carr, got to have this one. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. It'll be a gain of 4. And on fourth down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. The hitch route works. It's something you see quite a bit on third, fourth down in these situations, and they got it to go for them.
And what you're counting on is a couple of things. One, you want the guy catching that route to make people miss right away, almost like a punt returner. And two, you're expecting to pick up some blocks once he gets to the second level, able to get downfield. And on that play, everything came together.
On first down, Carr. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. DeAndre Hopkins, 60 yards. And the Raiders get a score closer. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Janikowski now for the point after. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Now Janikowski following the score. He'll boot this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. And these numbers showing up on the screen, that's why he's their star. They kept him down for a little bit, couldn't keep him down for a full 4 quarters.
But what they were hoping for was a half of a game. And if they could have shut it down at the half, they had done their job. But as you mentioned, a full 4 quarters. And the best, they always feel like they're one run away from changing the momentum or breaking something big. And we're starting to see that here in the second half.
Cut in left. Cut in left. Hey.
Again, we'll see the pistol here.
Black.
On first and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He's got time. They shakes him off. And the Raiders have got him. Stacy McGee breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Yeah, let's get sacked.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here's Jordan Berry now, standing just outside his own goal line. Now Landry. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steelers defense, we watch them get set to go. And they gave up a touchdown last drive. You kind of need to hit the reset button after every touchdown given up, Charles.
I love that. And the way that you phrased it is perfect because from series to series, you can reset how the game is going to go. If you gave up a touchdown before, it doesn't mean you have to do it again. And if you made a great play before, you have to reset again anyway because they're going to attack. So I love the way you phrased it and put it out there. That's what they have to do in this series.
Not like when you're playing a video game. You can't hit the reset button here. Let's go.
No, you shouldn't anyway. That's for sure.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. 23 yards on the play. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Hopkins, the one receiver right.
All right, here we go.
Now Carr throwing on second down. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And now a first down following that long gain. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. James Harrison, the veteran, in on the stop.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain.
All right, here we go. Red 18.
On second down, here's Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they're going to face a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's third down for this offense. From the gun, it's Carr. And this is caught. It's Cooper. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Out is Janikowski now for the Raider field goal try. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And Janikowski bangs it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3 and out.
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. And he'll get it up the middle. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Here's Roethlisberger. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Hey, boys, got four down. Set. 180. Check.
They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
4 down. Check. 4 down. Black 20.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs.
I remember being taught that cliches have become so for a reason. A lot of times they're true, right? What's that they used to tell us about letting sleeping dogs lie? But this one wasn't sleeping. Maybe it was just slumbering a little bit. But taking that gamble there, you've got the lead. You may have ignited them now if they stopped you.
That's exactly right. If you take the points here, you don't shift momentum necessarily on that play. You probably just did. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught along the sideline. Nicely done, but right at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. So a 3rd and 8. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, they needed the touchdown and the two-point conversion, but they're not going to get a shot at either. This is a great play here defensively, Brandon, and at a time that they sorely needed one. And that could be enough to help get them out of here with a victory.
Well, look now at the Oakland defense as they get ready. For them, it's not looking altogether promising here. They can only stop the clock one more time, and they have to pick when they use that one timeout.
And I think people, as you noted, are wondering, when do you take it? I think you take it right after first down. You get a stop, you take it right then and there. Because if you're trying to wait until later in the drive, well, they'll just sit on the ball and make it simple for themselves. First down, they're likely to try and run it and keep the clock moving. Try and get in there and get the ball.
And, of course, they'd love for the turnover. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. He'll get the football here. And he'll cut it out to the sideline. Le'Veon Bell. It's a foot race. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell. His second touchdown of the night, and the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a two-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Boswell for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Here's Jarvis Landry now on the return. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
All right, here we go. Red 18.
They go back to the air here after the INT. Finding time. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. And now they're in the hurry-up. Now Carr throwing on second down. He completes it to Julio Jones. That one goes for 24 yards. And with the clock ticking under 50 seconds now, he spikes it. And on 2nd and 10 now. Play action. Now it's Carr. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And quickly they get to the line. And he clocks it with just over 30 seconds left. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Hopkins, the one receiver right. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Javon Hargrave in there to sack him for a loss of 6. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. He's got time in the pocket. Still back there. It's caught. Jones. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Into the red zone, it's Carr. Can't find anyone open. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And this looks to probably be the final play. One final try now for Carr. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.